Naruto 560. Okay, a lot of action, a whole ton of action. Spoiler alerts, I'm assuming everybody that's listening to this has already read it. If you haven't, go read it first, come back. Okay, there was a few things in here. I mean, a lot of action. I mean, I enjoy the action a lot. That's the main reason, I read it, and that's really, and it was enough plot development and everything to kind of keep the action going. He says there's actually quite a few little things in here to. Okay, Madara at one point says things don't seem to be going according to plan very well. So there's a plan. So Madara had some kind of plan, and already from the last chapter, there was the idea that he knew that I guess the plan was that he was going to get brought back by Nagato. Okay, of course there's a lot of time issues here. He was way before Nagato. But anyway, that seemed to be the plan. He knew about that little such and such Nagato. And so there's a plan out there. So now the question is, what was the plan? He already knew he was going to die, and Nagato was going to bring him back. That seems to be a part of whatever plan that there was. Evidently there was some big plan. But things don't seem to be going according to plan very well. Okay, so things definitely have not worked out. However, Madara and whoever else or whatever else was helping Madara plan it. Okay, and then Kabuto starts talking to him, and he says another thing to keep in mind here is that he's done something to augment or change or to supercharge Madara. He's added something or some things to Madara to make him even more powerful than he was in his prime. Okay, so this is from the research of Orochimaru and Kabuto. They've guessed on how this works. So you can tell they've spent a lot of time trying to figure it out. Anyway, he does this. Madara does the giant flame wall, which gets countered, which is really just a strategy or a technique in order for Madara to come in and start killing lower level ninjas, which he does. Kills quite a few, and so he goes from. Well, this gets pretty interesting. Okay, the Tsuchikage. This guy has been really. I mean, I thought this guy was going to go pretty quick. I mean, bad back, a lot of problems and everything, but this guy has been awesome. A lot of people like the Tsuchikage for whatever reason early on. For me, it's kind of taken a while, but I'm there. I like him. I mean, he's earned it. He's done quite a few things. Anyhow, so you have these combo attacks. You have Naruto attacking Madara from above with the super giant Rasengan, and then you have the Tsuchikage with his Earth technique, Earth core shift, and so they're going to sandwich him. Immovable, object, irresistible force from above. So it's awesome. I love when they work together like that. But of course, Madara being Madara, he pops out with the most badass Susanoo that we've seen so far. I mean, this thing's it's got basically two sides, four arms. It's facing two sides, and each one of the sides looks pretty badass. So it looks pretty incredible. And yeah, and Madara goes with the Mangekyou Sharingan. I'm probably saying that wrong. I say a lot of things wrong. But anyway, pressing on. So he goes to the higher level Sharingan optical technique here, or ability. And he's got the Susanoo going. I mean, that thing looks... That is, a lot of times you look at this and you're like, wow, I can't wait till the anime comes out because that's going to look pretty wicked. And that is going to look pretty wicked. And course, it's Hassan who grabs, some of the. Oh yeah, yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Well, anyway, Naruto's been trying to build up, sage mode, sage mode. Okay, so he can bring out his Rasen Shuriken, and he does. And then something is. This is actually, I think, this is going to be something very important. The Tsuchikage again. Okay, he uses Earth Technique Relative Weight Rock. Okay, on Gaara's giant jar on his back. And Gaara says, "Hey, the weight of all my sand has become light." So he uses this technique again, and I think this is going to be important, really important, very important later on. So he uses that, and then there's another attack where he's trying he's going at Gaara with his sand below to grab a hold of him. And here comes Naruto with his Shuriken, and then bam! It looks like, okay, he nailed him, and then well, okay, wow, he's got the Rinnegan. So now we have reincarnated. Let's just pause here for a moment. We have a reincarnated Madara, who's already been augmented, supercharged, made even better than he was in his prime, and now he has the highest level of optical that there is. He has the Rinnegan. So, okay. Wow. Okay. That's all right. So anyway, with those powers, of course, he absorbs the energy coming in, which is part of the power, and so he defeats that. Well, okay. And then we have a pretty good discussion. Madara is a little pissed because he's seen how much this guy's, that Orochimaru and Kabuto have kind of figured out what's of his powers and how they're working. And Kabuto wants to. He also makes a statement in here at one point that I'm the assistant, basically. I think he's still. That is Kabuto. I think he's still. Like I say, he's got the snake and everything, and I'm pretty sure Orochimaru is floating around in there pretty well. And of course, just a side note here, and of course that they're wanting Kabuto. Who did he want? He wanted Sasuke, which is what Orochimaru wanted. He wanted his body. And so I'm already, and that's of course the price that he paid for doing all this great stuff, teaming up with Toby Madara. So anyway, Orochimaru is evidently still very much floating around in there in Kabuto. So now the last page, you guys have seen the last page of this giant, looks like rocks, a mountain. I would say a part of a mountain, but it looks like a mountain, whatever you want to call it, coming down from the sky. Big, large, huge object coming down from the sky. And my favorite line from this, to give somebody an idea of how awesome this thing is coming down, is what Gaara says. Is this the power of a god? I mean, what, it pretty much relates to everybody how awesome and how incredible this thing is coming down. So, as far as character development, a lot of other issues, things like that. I don't know. There are a lot of hints. I mean, there are some hints and everything. But if you're like me and your number one thing is action, then you're happy. You got everything you wanted in this chapter, and then some. Like I say, if the action is just so for you, and you were more into character development, this and that, then this chapter may not be that. Maybe less great for you, or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Wow. Okay. It's okay. Now let's go ahead and get to the end of what's coming down. The big mountain, the big earth combined thing. Like when Naruto was fighting Nagato's six paths, that large, huge collection of Earth and stuff like that. Looks something similar to that. But it doesn't look like it was pulled. It looks like it's just, I don't know how. It just, hey, there it is in the sky coming down. Anyway, how are they going to be able to stop this? My opinion is, once again, what we saw. Gaara, I believe his sand is still supercharged from the Tsuchikage. And Gaara's ability, even though he was a Jinkariki, when he fought Deidara, the amount of sand that he was able to move, even in a weakened state, I think he's just as powerful, if not even more. Okay, now that he's not a Jinkariki anymore. So I think Gaara could do it, and I think with how his sand has been, like I say, supercharged or whatever, I think that he could deflect it. And even then, the Tsuchikage, who has all these earth techniques and everything, I think that he, along with Gaara, could do something. I don't honestly see a lot of what Naruto could do, short of turning into the Nine Tails to kind of, to have that much of an impact on a massive thing coming out of there. So I think this is pretty much going to be Gaara and the Tsuchikage. So I think that's who's going to handle it. Of course, hey, right? Kisimoto, he could do anything he wants. So we could have something else. I don't think that this is going to be a cliffhanger either. I think pretty much, the way he left it. But he could. All of a sudden we could switch over and it could be, So what do we have at the end here? We have Toby Madara still coming in, right? He's still on the way. Resurrected Itachi with the geese or whatever you want to call it upon him to save the Leaf Village, is out there running around doing whatever he needs to do. And he stated that he's going to go find Kabuto, so that's still happening. And of course, Sasuke's doing what Sasuke pretty much always does, is whatever the hell he wants to do. So all this stuff is floating around out there. Okay, what happens next? You have my prediction of what I think is going to happen to solve the massive mountain, asteroid, meteor, rock, storm, whatever you want to say that this thing is coming down. What are your comments? By the way, the comments on the last actual review and everything I did last week were phenomenal. Great job, everybody. It was really, really, really good stuff. And I'm probably going to go ahead and I've wanted to make a video or some videos on the comments themselves, because a lot of them are very good. A few of them were pretty humorous. So anyway, let me make sure that there isn't anything major. I don't want to go too far over. I think that was pretty much. I think that was pretty much about it. Anyway, in closing, what do you think is going to happen? Okay, what's going to happen here? How's this? At the very end, how does that get dealt with? Also, we have supercharged Madara. Doesn't this, with the Rinnegan, doesn't this seem kind of overpowered? Does Kabuto? I'm still to the point. I don't see Kabuto wanting to destroy the army and then have to deal with Madara, Toby Madara, whoever the hell that is. So I thought, or still think that evidently he's trying to destroy him now. So maybe I'm completely wrong, but it wouldn't be beyond expectation, because I thought he was more worried about. But then again, maybe he thinks, well, hey, I've got a supercharged Madara, right, with the, with some of the powers of the, almost godlike powers of the Sage of the Sixth Path type stuff here. So maybe he thinks, well, I don't need him. I'll just kill everybody. I don't know, except for Sasuke, who wants Orochimaru to be reincarnated or reborn by. Well, anyway, if you would please, one Naruto fan to another, please give this some thumbs up. That would be awesome. That would be super great. If you want to, subscribe. And comments. If you have any comments, anything, throw them on there. Until next time, take care.